And this is called Hulul al-Hawadith. Okay? Hulul al-Hawadith. It's a huge issue of controversy. Because Ash'aris are very strict on the fact that that can never happen.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah?
I mean, I'll agree with them.
No, but you see, so the Ash'aris say, no. Yeah? This is not a change in the will of God. And nothing in God can change.
What's our position?
No, I'm giving you all the positions. You can make your own decision.
No, what's our position, though?
So, like, for example, if you ask, like, Sheikh Al-Ajayri, so he'll defend Ibn Taymiyyah's position. If you ask a lot of the Salafi position, if you want to ask about what the Salafi position is Ibn Taymiyyah's position. Because nobody else spoke about this except for Ibn Taymiyyah. He's the only one who spoke about these things.
So what's Ibn Taymiyyah's position?
His position is that you can have a tajaddudu fi dhatillah. You can have a renewal in the will of God. I have to be honest and put my cards on the table, yeah? I believe he goes too far with this.
How?
Let me tell you how he goes too far with this. And this is, once again, these are my cards on the table, right? He gives examples when he's describing this stuff of not just the will of God. He gives examples of the hearing of God as well. So he says, look, in Surah Al-Mujadila, Allah says, قَدْ سَمِعَ اللَّهُ قَوْلَ الَّتِي تُجَادِلُكَ فِي زَوْجِهَا وَتَشْتَكِي إِلَى اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ يَسْمَعُ تَحَوُّرَكُمَا. That Allah has heard the man who's debating with his wife. You know this.
Yeah.
But notice, in the Arabic language, قَدْ سَمِعَ. What's that? قَدْ سَمِعَ is the past tense verb. So Ibn Taymiyyah is making the argument, he's saying, look, did something happen to the hearing of God when that woman spoke to the Prophet? And he's making the argument that since a past tense verb has been used, whatever, then something did happen, and he calls it a tajaddud, some kind of a renewal. And the fact is, there's a fine line between a tajaddud and taghayyur, which is a kind of change.
Can it not be that Allah knew she was going to say that before she said it anyways?
Exactly. So that's what the Ash'aris will make exactly that argument. That is the Ash'ari argument. They'll say, look, and another argument that can be made, and this is why I'm not liking this way of going too deep into it, yeah, is because, as we've mentioned, time has a different risk, for me anyway. Yeah. It has a different interaction with the creation than it has with the Creator. Yeah. So the past tense for me is not necessarily the past tense for Allah. Allah's in the لا تسبوا الدهر فأنا الدهر. Do not curse time because I am time. Meaning all the shurah say he creates time. So I have a problem going that far. Like, for example, Ibn Taymiyyah, right? He's meant to be a representative of Salafi, sort of all the Salafis except him. But hulul hawadith la awwala laha, the changing nature of God, the perpetual creation to the past. Who from the Salaf spoke like this? No. Nobody from the Salaf spoke at all. I promise you, if Ahmad ibn Hanbal heard this stuff, he would consider it to be deviance. Why? No, because he would say that this stuff is philosophizing. At least at one stage of his life, he would consider it to be going well above and beyond what should be said. But because the times changed, the discussion required a change as well. And even Ahmad, as we mentioned, Ibn Hanbal said in his own lifetime, he changed his ways. In Ar-Rad al-Jahmiyyah, etc., like that, Yeah. We had to engage it. Exactly. So, what I'm trying to say is that some of these positions of Ibn Taymiyyah are not necessarily the positions of the Salaf. If you want to know the most authoritative position on the Salaf, on whether Allah created something in the beginning, the first thing is that He did. The only difference of opinion is what did He create. I remember reading a quote from Umar ibn Khattab himself saying that Allah created the pen first. And some others say this, and some others say Al-Arsh. And so, look at the tafsir of Noon, وَالْقَلَمِ وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ, and all of the ahadith on that. There's lots of discussion about the first creation. There is not a discussion, as Ibn Taymiyyah puts it, of perpetual creation to the past in the Salaf at all in the first 300 years. So this is a new philosophical development. If someone says, well, if you want to be an Athari and if you want to follow the Salaf, you have to believe in this opinion. This opinion is a philosophical opinion, theophilosophical opinion. It's inconceivable Allah will put you in the hellfire because you took a different view on this. It's inconceivable that, Ibn Taymiyyah believed that the hellfire will run out. How many people from the Salaf believed in that? Let's be honest. So everybody has, even in Aqidah, issues which need to be investigated. And there's a degree of freedom that someone has to have in investigating this stuff themselves. And at the end of the day, Allah will not judge you for getting some intellectual thing wrong. He will judge you if you denied the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you denied Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you denied the 5 pillars of Islam, if you denied the 6 pillars of Islam, Iman. He will deny, if you deny a qat'i thing in the Quran, clear, He will judge you if you deny these things. But on these issues, which are so difficult to understand for a lot of people, what kind of God do you believe in if you believe that He'll throw you in the hellfire if you get it wrong on hawadith or hawadith?
These issues that some of those issues you mentioned, they're like more subsidiary issues in creed, anyways. They're not like the essential.
No, but I mean, this is how a lot of the neo-Salafis try and lie about things. Because if you want to ask the question of, if you asked someone from the Salaf, is the issue of the hellfire running out a subsidiary issue or is it a main issue? I'm sorry to say, I don't think it's one of the 6 pillars of Iman. Why is it a subsidiary issue? It's a main issue. It's just because it's your guy saying it.
But then they dispute whether he actually said that or not, rahimullah.
No, he definitely said that. And Ibn al-Qayyim took the view, and in fact, he even defended the view. And Ibn al-Qayyim has a whole, in Shifa al-Alil, a whole defense of it. And by the way, the way to know what Ibn Taymiyyah's final position was, because by looking at Ibn al-Qayyim. And Ibn al-Qayyim took the view. So I'm just saying that, look, at the end of the day, there's more flexibility in these things than we think. And you mentioned this before, Ali, and it's correct. That the hadith in Bukhari, where the man, he says, when I die, put me into ashes and scatter my ashes into the sea so Allah does not put me together again. You mentioned it as well. So, okay, isn't that questioning the power of Allah and all this kind of stuff? Okay, but Allah forgave the guy. It's a huge aqidah error. But because the guy had sincerity and he believed in Allah and the Messenger.
No, it showed his...
Yeah, it's about intention, akhi.
It showed his taqwa to the level where he's denying act, like in the sense, he's like, I fear for Allah, if Allah gets hold of me, He'll give me a punishment, and he gave no belief.
Yeah, so these neo-Salafis, akhi, the reason why they push this very strict, that if you can't say this, you can't, you're kufr, blah, 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 bid'ah, kufr, whatever, they push it because of America. The United States of America. That's the main reason.
That came out of nowhere.
It makes sense because for them it's like, okay, well, this is how to divide these guys. Just get them to focus on some really minor thing and fight each other on some minor issue that really is, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that.
They said they're MI5 agents, or CIA. No, they said they're CIA agents. He done a video. He said they're the CIA agents.
Say again?
Actually, no, he provided documentation to... Remember we done a video?
They don't need to, because if you're...
Remember we done a video about it? On SP5.
CIA,
He brought receipts.
They have a time and a place, of course.
He brought receipts, bro.
What the neo-Salaf, what they do, that they make it seem as if, I need to reset. Give me a second. No.
Yeah, go on.
Don't cut this bit out. It's a very good bit.
Cuts back and
Yeah, we're good. Well, I was saying, Akhi, these issues in regards to creed, right? They have a time and a place, right? But what the neo-Salafis, what they do, and the Madkhalites and the Halabites, and those similar to their ilk, right? What they do, they make it seem as if these matters of creed, especially in regards to Bab Asma Sifat, they make it seem as if that the reason why the Ummah is declining is because we're not united on the Asma wa Sifat. You can make that case, okay, during the time of the Salaf they were united on it, but afterwards, right? Afterwards, they make it seem as if like everyone needs to know these intricate details in creed.
Absolutely.
But the problem is we don't need to know the intricate details.
Yeah, we don't even need to know this.
Do you know what I mean?
Allah.
Because we have a fitrah.
Because there's so many difficult questions, as we saw today.
Yeah.
يا ربي يا ربي إني أسألك العفو